going on? This is Tori Kravitz, and welcome back to another new episode of She's with the Band. As always, thanks for joining me. It's awesome to have you here. Now, we have a crazy episode today, guys. 16-year-old me is losing her absolute mind over the lineup we have. So we're doing a roundtable episode. We've done one of these in the past where basically we bring together a few different artists and talk about their common thread. And in this case, it is Myspace-era. So we're talking the era of like 2007 to 2008, maybe a little before, a little after, and the incredible music scene that boomed at that time on that social media platform. Now, have no fear if maybe you missed the MySpace train. This episode is still perfectly relevant to you because these artists are still active to this day, still releasing music, and have maintained relevance for almost 2 decades, which is an incredible achievement in itself. But I also do want to look at what on earth was going on in the MySpace era and how was music, especially alternative culture, thriving in the way that it was. So as our perfect sources on this topic, we have Cassidy Pope, who was from Hey Monday, one of the best pop rock bands to come out of that time, and a personal favorite of mine. And Cassidy went on to have an incredible career as a country artist for a bit. She went on The Voice and won. And now she's back to her pop rock roots. She's playing When We Were Young Fest in a reunion with Hey Monday, the original members, which is very cool. We also have I Set to Kill, who were absolutely pivotal in my love for metalcore. They were one of the first metalcore bands that I really discovered and loved. Right now, they are celebrating the, I believe, 15-year anniversary of their album Reach, and they also were hugely popular for their album Broken Frames, which was my personal favorite. But last but not least, we also have the Millionaires to round it out, another different genre where they were more electronic and pop, really fun. I would call them party animals. And you may remember their massive oversized bows that they were always wearing. And so they were kind of fashion icons and music icons. So we will be talking to all three at one time, which is something I never thought I would say because clearly they all represent very different genres, but within the same time period. So I think it's going to bring a lot of unique perspectives to the mix. And all the while, I need to keep my 16-year-old self at bay. So she's in there, she's freaking out, but present day me is going to hold it together so we can have a really great episode and keep our composure. But I digress. Thank you for tuning in. If you're enjoying these episodes of She's with the Band, please do follow the podcast, whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, so you can be notified when new episodes come out every other week. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed and comment and let me know who your most iconic MySpace era artists were, because I'd love to know. There were so many. But thanks for watching as always, and let's get into the episode. We are joined now by Cassidy Pope and the Millionaires. How are y'all doing?
Hi. So good.
Thanks for having me.
I honestly never would have imagined having all of you on one Zoom because even though you come from similar eras of the music scene, you come from different sides of it, I'll say. So have you all been acquainted, or is this like first time all getting to chat?
Yes.
Okay, Cassie.
I was gonna say yes and no. Like online, similar, like same circles. Maybe you've run into each other like forever ago, but yeah, like obviously know who everyone is, and I'm a fan, so this is cool for me.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever met Cassidy personally, but Cassidy, you know my husband.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Okay, I do. That's right.
So small world.
We have a mutual there.
Fair. I feel like everyone somewhere has a mutual in the music scene.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, this just makes me think, obviously coming from different sides, but being familiar with each other's work, like back in the days of MySpace, how much were you all lurking, like what was going on in the music scene and seeing what bands were out there? Were you really involved in looking, or were you kind of staying in your own lanes of what you were doing at the time?
I think for like Millionaires, like when we first started, like the scene was kind of already like not scene, like the emo, I guess, was already kind of going on. And then when like I started Millionaires, it was just like obviously you're just trying to like look at like that MySpace kind of like what was it, the top, whatever the top, not top 8, the charts, the music charts. Remember that back in the day? And so that's how I kind of saw, started to see like who, like not competition by any means, but like who like the bands were that was like, kind of getting like up and at 'em or whatever. And that's how I kind of got like our first shows and whatever. So yeah, I was definitely kind of, I feel like that's how I know, well, mutually through whatever capacity and everything too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
I was
sure.
definitely, I found Sherwood on MySpace records. Do you remember Sherwood? I don't know if I would have like found them without MySpace. So yeah, I was definitely like into finding music. I feel like my goal was always to find a band or an artist that had like barely any followers, because then I really felt like I was like following someone from the start. So yeah, I loved discovering artists on MySpace.
That's
I
funny because
mean,
I did the same thing too with like finding those unknowns and being like, yeah, I knew them when, even if like they didn't go
Yeah,
anywhere,
I knew
it was
them
still was
first.
like
I knew them first.
They break up like the next week. You're like, oh, dang it.
on to the
mean,
next one. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm
Meredith.
just gonna say that I'm kind of like the odd one out. Like I'm not like a original member of Millionaires, but I discovered Millionaires on MySpace. So I like there's a little connection there.
Yeah,
And so you're definitely paying attention, Melissa.
Well, that's the thing, Meredith. I'm glad you're here
why do you
because
think?
you you have that perspective of like
Yeah.
you also run the emo nights, so you probably know MySpace-era music better than anyone. And yeah, like you were
She's the
discovering
queen
the
of that.
band that you're in now. So that's you bring a special perspective to this too.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Totally. And I obviously we will focus on what you all are doing currently because there's stuff on the way and you're still active artists. But like just thinking a little bit about this MySpace era, because obviously it's led you both artists here to have like really long-term careers. Like the fact that it's been nearly 2 decades since like MySpace times. Sorry, guys.
Don't age me. Don't age
I mean,
me.
me too. I was there too, but like you're still going,
Ouch.
still maintaining your music careers. And I think that really says something about the power of that time and the loyalty of the fan base and everything we cultivated as a culture. So what do you think was going on there that has led to what you have now?
Hard
Yeah,
one. I
that's
feel like,
yeah.
you know what? It's the fans that kept it going. Even just in general, like with even the emo nights or whatever. But it's the loyalty, I think. And then this new generation seemed to kind of pop in. It's like, when people started like wearing like, or like liking the hippie look back in the day, it's like that rebrand. So I don't know, just like, I don't know, we just got lucky because we all worked our asses off, for it. But now for it to be more like, I don't know, accepted. I guess that's the word. You know what I mean? Instead of being like that we're the underground, like, still alternative or whatever, but that underground scene or whatever. Now it is like on the radio and like, obviously, heard his husband selling at stadiums, just like crazy, it's actually amazing to actually like have stuck through it. I will say though, to stick through it and believe in your music. That's the one thing that I think I'm proud of myself and for all like the, all the bands that are still thriving from it, from even back in the day.
We
But
have
that's
a
my
special
opinion.
guest coming in, by the way. I Set to Kill
Uh-oh.
are about to arrive in this meeting. So we're just gonna like
Yeah.
keep going.
Yay.
And just they're
Love
getting
that.
thrown into the episode basically right in the middle of it. So
Yeah.
no pressure.
Yeah, I feel like around the same time I think I was on there, it was like the amount of emphasis on social media was there, but it was like more so on touring and playing shows. So I feel like when we were coming up, it was like getting that face-to-face interaction was so important. And now I feel like things a lot of times are so skewed toward social media, which is fine, but like because we came up in a time where it was really important to get on the road and like meet people in person, that's kind of like how we kept doing it for so long, was just staying on the road and meeting people in person. And then I feel like that loyalty's like a lot more intense because they meet you in person,
Totally.
Hi, sorry.
Not at all.
I was trying to figure out the webcam and I couldn't. It's news, but I got it. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. I'm
No.
so glad you're here because now I feel like we have a super like well-rounded episode. We've got the metalcore represented in this chat.
Yay,
So thanks for
awesome.
being here.
I'm
Anissa,
happy to
right?
be here. Yeah.
Yes, awesome.
Alexia, my sister couldn't be here, unfortunately, but
But
I'll
thank
be
you for
here on
being here.
behalf of her.
So Anissa, have you been acquainted with Millionaires, Hey Monday, the past? Like have your circles cross paths too?
Yeah, I think we all played Warped Tour together, and we've all like crossed paths like in and out, I feel like. So hi guys. Hi again.
Yay, hi. Let's
I
go.
mean,
Warp
I,
Tour.
I
I feel
said
like
it
I
like
saw Melissa like the most recently out of everybody. Like
Yeah, somewhere, huh?
I don't remember where though, but I
It's at a
feel like
show or something.
yeah, maybe like at a show or something like that. I'm not sure though.
Yeah,
Always
it
at
was
a
like
show.
yeah, it's like a random. It
But
was
hi
fun.
again.
Oh yeah.
well, that's the thing I was saying, like in the intro, which you'll see when this comes out, but like all of you do represent different pockets of the MySpace scene, which Anissa, we were just kind of talking about like what the heck was going on with MySpace that made it such a special time for like artists coming up. But like all of you as well, at least for me, what you were saying, Cassidy, of how you felt like such a connection to meeting these artists in person because of like what MySpace cultivated in terms of like touring and the shows and the whole thing. Like I saw all of you when I was like 16 years old and I was such a fan. So this is all just very cool.
Oh,
Just to attest to
You're so sweet,
like
Tori.
that significance. Yeah.
oh, I love
That's so
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that like MySpace was, I mean, I don't know if what I missed, but I loved how like it was the first way that we could communicate with like artists, like fans could communicate with their favorite bands through MySpace for the first time. And I feel like that was such a like amazing thing and just changed music in general because of that. Like I remember like getting a MySpace and being like, oh, you can like, someone was like, oh, you can message your favorite bands on here, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, I didn't know that. And like that kind of set it up for like, you know, Instagrams like that now, and like there's so much to do, there's so like the doors just opened with like fans connecting with the artists, and it's like
So
super
true.
cool. Yeah.
That's true. I guess it was really the first time where the mystery was kind of erased around artists where suddenly they were
Yeah.
commenting on your MySpace profile. Like I remember getting a comment from like a band I loved and I would screenshot it and be like, they spoke to me. It was like a crazy thing.
Yeah,
Obviously
exactly.
now times have changed so much, but do you think there's anything that you learned from those early days of like using social media to promote your music and spread the word and connect with people that you think maybe we need to remember now in 2024 on social media? Like anything you really learned back then?
I've definitely learned how important it is to have a connection with your fans, because you wouldn't be playing music and you wouldn't be going on tour and doing all these things without them. So I feel like that part is so important. And it should be as important now to like communicate and like interact with your fans like it was back then, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think that's totally important. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to,
I feel like,
I want to,
yeah,
oh, that's it, yeah, you go. Oh no, I
you
just want
go.
to give us all like props though too, because we did social media before that was even a term. And you got to
Yeah,
give
that's
yourself,
true.
you know what I mean? Like we are the queens of that, you know what I mean? And the kings is kings, you know, but we were around before that term was even, you know what I mean? A
Yes,
That's
statement
true.
to
so
say.
true.
That's crazy.
I
It
mean,
Crazy
opened
to
up
think
so
there
about.
many
was no,
jobs and everything for people, you know, like think about that. We opened a whole new like gateway and it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
and there
It's
was no
crazy.
like path for you of like, how do you do it? You just had to figure it out. You were just thrown in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Like we were just like learning how to like we didn't really know what we were doing. We're just kind of figuring it out. And now it's so different now, but it's interesting to think about like how we were kind of just like thrown into it, and we kind of had to figure out like how to navigate through MySpace to get our music out there. Because I remember like what was it called? MySpace Music had like the top bands, and like that
You
was
talk about the
always like
charts?
such
Yeah.
a like great thing to be on, and like you wanted to be like on the top MySpace bands, right? Like that was so important because that's what everyone looked at too, to discover music, as well as they would like go to the top bands on MySpace and then check those bands out and check those artists out and then like discover new music that way.
Mm-hmm.
And let us
I
not
miss
forget the
that.
on profile music players, which for me was
Yes.
my method. Whatever my friends had in their music
Oh
player was the
yeah.
law.
Yes.
And then
You
you
had
would
to feel
Absolutely.
cool. Yeah, you had to choose a cool song, you know, even if it wasn't your favorite. It's like, oh, this is
you would
Right. This is how you're perceived.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
What
my
was what
MySpace
was
boyfriend likes
everyone's
this one.
what was everyone's first MySpace song on their profile? Do you remember? I remember mine. I don't know how, but
I
I think
remember one of my first, and it's someone in this Zoom meeting. So that's really funny.
I love that
Wait,
though.
Cassidy,
Yeah.
what was your
Anthem of Our Dying Day by Story of the Year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
My mine
you're
was
going
some like hardcore song that like a friend, you know what I mean? Like some, you know, like one of my friends, like, you know, showed me. I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, this is a cool one. But I think the first one I ever really took, I think it was maybe a Hollywood and Dead one randomly. I don't know, but like, you know, like that I remember being like that,
Nice.
like, yeah, the Hollywood, you know, going to Hollywood,
I love
and
it.
fake ID, underage drinking, the whole
They
shebang.
were
Of
like
course.
a cool band to be showing off at the time. 100%.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Agreed.
I think one of my first like early songs was an I Said to Kill song. I'm
Oh,
pretty
that's
sure.
awesome.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it was like really early on, like demo version or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Thank you.
That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
think for me it was
Hey.
probably The Listening was one of my first MySpace songs.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I also
Aw.
I definitely had Homecoming by Hey Monday on there as well at some point. So
Yay.
y'all all made the rounds on my profile. Congratulations. That's why you're here.
Honored.
Hey.
Honored.
Oh, thank you.
Then I discovered Millionaires through my best friend, and then we based our entire personalities on that. So
Safe, Meredith, very safe, right?
So what does that entail, basing your entire personality off of the Millionaires? What did that look like?
listen, I grew up in a small town in Louisiana, and all there is to do is party, you know? And we were already doing that. So we were just like, we're just gonna, add a little bit more sparkle to our outfits and eyeliner and tease our hair. And that's what we were doing. So,
And you
Synergy from the
never
beginning, but
misspelled alcohol, I'm sure.
absolutely not. I'm a fucking pro, and I have it on my sleeve right here. So,
That's so
amazing.
good. And the thing is, like, this nostalgia is so great. But the thing is, too, you always hear growing up that whatever trends you liked when you were younger are at some point going to make a revival. Like, oh, just wait a decade and those jeans you wore are going to be cool again. And now here we are, where all of you are like having this mega revival. I mean, Millionaires, Hey Monday are making comebacks at When We Were Young, playing your older discographies. And also, I Said to Kill, you guys are celebrating the 15-year anniversary of Reach right now. How does it feel to like see this new appreciation and this just revisiting these early releases that not only the people who loved it at the time are revisiting, but also like there's a whole new audience now too. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? I don't know who
Yeah.
wants to start here. Yeah.
I think, yeah, we like a couple months ago, we started doing the 15-year anniversary of our first album tour. And I was excited to see what the audience was going to be like. And it was so like surreal because it was a lot of the audience were older people, like people our age bringing their kids to the shows and the kids being fans now of our band. So that was really cool to see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's surreal. I mean, Hey Monday was not a band very long. I think people forget we were only together for like 4, maybe 5 years. And so it all ended really fast. And now that things are kind of coming back around and people want that nostalgia, I'm always just really surprised at how many people seem to have like Hey Monday touched them in a way or influenced them or something. I'm always like, it's just something that was not there for very long can go on for forever, which is like, I don't know if we're going to be around, like our music's going to stand the test of time or anything like that, but it really does show you the power of it. And if it strikes someone at the right time in their lives in like the formative years, which I think we did and all of us did, like people just never forget about it. So it's surreal for
That's
me.
what it is like, I feel like, I mean, speaking for myself, being 15, 16, loving Hey Monday, those are times where it feels so huge. Everything feels huge. And so the music you're listening to is life-changing. So even though it was a short-lived period of time, like the impact was large because of like the demographic you had at the time. So it totally makes sense. Like, how has it been also reuniting with your band members for the first time in a while? Because you've had quite the journey that has led you to this point of seeing them again and playing together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been interesting, I'll say. We did a reunion with just the three of us in 2019, which was great. It was the 10-year anniversary of our first record. So yeah, it was really cool to like reconnect and sh share stories, things that like I don't even remember. I mean, I was 18, 17, 18 when we were touring, and it just like came so quickly, and it was such a whirlwind that I don't remember so much. So that was really crazy to just swap stories. And yeah, I'm happy to see everybody's like doing great. You know, everybody's got their own respective things going on, and some are in music still, some aren't. But yeah, we got someone who's married, we got someone who's got a like production company. So it's awesome to see everybody doing so great.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
and to piggyback of Cassidy though too, yeah, same thing. Millionaires, like it's been around for 17 years with like, this year, and it's like it's half of my life. But same aspect to like we're like we only did like one album and then an EP, and so like we didn't, you know, it wasn't like 24/7, or it was then, you know, but for it to all come back and like obviously have like the new members and everything, it's like I don't know, it's beautiful though. But I dealing with the same stuff, Cassidy.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think too, one thing that really for me has always kept the Millionaires in my mind is not only the music, but like the fashion and the whole aesthetic that went around it. I mean, the bows, we like the bows.
The bows.
How do you
Here, yeah, I hadn't
ever
been
forget the bows? They're so iconic. So I do also want to talk about the fashion aspect because Y2K is a thing that's really coming back. I'm really scared that people are wearing low-rise jeans again. I don't think that should make a comeback.
It's honestly so tragic.
Actually,
They
Meredith,
look good, but I don't want to wear them.
Not me.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
think I could. I don't work out enough to do that. You know, like, didn't have to come, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm also seeing like those capri leggings that have just started coming back. They're showing up on my Instagram as of the last week, and that is scary. But I'm
Oh,
Like
curious
no.
if
capri, like the old navy ones, like
yeah,
the
like the ones that would go just below your knee, like
Like
black
dress.
leggings that
Oh,
everyone
like
used to
those.
wear.
like a picnicky kind of color.
Uh,
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
thinking about
know.
Old Navy, I think, like the commercial stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna explain myself. Okay, don't judge me. But yeah, like, because I had a, you know, in school. But yeah.
I love that. Oh God.
So
Those are,
good.
that cut was unforgiving. Yeah.
It was a bad time for fashion, but also a good time at moments. So I am curious, like, are there any fashion trends from the MySpace era that you are horrified or making a comeback, or any that you really want to see making a comeback? Meredith, let's start with you because you are quite the fashion influencer as well. I feel like you're kind of an authority here.
Yeah.
Not today, since I am slumming.
You look beautiful, man. You're fine.
You look awesome.
I was up very early. But I feel like I've seen a lot of like the studded belts and stuff coming back, and that's been coming back for a while now. But now I'm seeing like people layer them and stuff in ways that we used to do it in like the
Like the double, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's really sick. And also like animal print skinny jeans I've been seeing, and I'm like, okay, I wouldn't wear them now, I don't think, but I like to see the younger generation doing it. I'm like, yes, go through the same shit that we did. I love it.
I love it
Yeah, it's the
too.
layering. It's the layering. It's really cute though when they tag on one. You know, it's like they're like listening to Millionaires, whatever. Like they're like, yeah, all those layers of like the chain
Yeah.
top. You know, like yeah.
But they're also doing things like they're taking things from that time that were, you know, cool and iconic, but they're also like putting their own spin on it as well, which I think is awesome. So
Me too.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, they had the I had the like the dunks, like DC dunk
yeah,
shoes, and like the Dickie pants, like the Dickies like crisp black pants. I see those a lot. But I remember getting this pair of they almost look like boxing shoes, like old boxing shoes. And I remember I think I was in high school when I got them, and my mom was like, I cannot believe you're wearing those. I literally wore the same pair when I was in high school. This is freaking me out. So yeah, my mom got on me a lot when I was dressing like that.
And isn't it scary that like we're the ones saying those things now?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd been
That's what
kind
I
of
mean.
waiting for the day where I would be scared of trends coming back, and now it's at that point, and I'm like, oh man,
It's here. It's upon us.
everybody, time to take your ibuprofen for your back pain if you haven't already.
I know, right?
I literally did this morning.
I feel that.
I
What
have a
about you,
bulging disc
Anissa?
in my neck from headbanging for too many years.
Is that
Literally.
for real?
Yeah.
Is
I was a cheerleader too, so I like got dropped on my head a lot, but but that wasn't like it wasn't like in case you're wondering why I am the way that I am. But I also just headbanging like once I was in the band, headbanging for like 5 years straight, and then it was like it wasn't an injury, it just like happened. And they were like, yeah, headbanging's like the worst thing for a bulging disc. I was like, cool.
I mean, that's what happens when you write bangers, you know, when your songs are that good that you just have to headbang all the time. And
You
now here
asked
we
for it,
are.
Cassidy. No, kidding.
I mean,
the
I do it in my
price-
living room though.
What about you, Anissa? Any other fashion hot takes you'd like to bring to the table?
That's a good question.
Like, what was cool in the metalcore scene on MySpace back then?
Definitely,
skinny jeans for
definitely
sure.
the studs, definitely the studs, which I love still. And what else?
Like those black band tees that have like you can barely read what the band name was.
Oh yeah,
You
like the
know?
super metal,
But it was
like
like, you know,
font.
I would always
Yeah.
feel like whatever little MySpace boyfriend I had, like, you know, it felt just like cool. You
Yes,
know, like
no,
when
I
you
love
don't even
that.
know what it says.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that for sure. I don't know.
What about like certain face piercings? I
Oh,
feel
the
like I saw a lot
piercing.
of like
A
snake
lot of
bites and
snake bites, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the Monroe.
Oh,
I used to
love
have that. Now I kind of miss like the piercings that I had. Maybe I'll get them again. But yeah, I definitely had the Monroe and the lip and yeah, I do like
oh
those
yeah.
things. Hell yeah.
Anita, your haircut is making me think of it, but like hairstyles too, like
Mm-hmm.
the your super cute mullet situation, like it's so awesome. I used to have one myself, but I was a hairdresser, but being in the salon, I see younger people coming in wanting, that super textured razor cut, side
Yeah.
bang, all of that shit. It's all happening again.
The thing
Yeah.
is,
I
these bangs.
almost cut my bangs today just for this.
I'm
Oh my
so
God.
glad you didn't. It's totally fine. This isn't that serious.
Yeah. No, me too. I've been like contemplating wanting the like side bangs again. Like when my bangs get longer too, I kind of like try it out and see if I'm like, should I do it again? Like maybe for these tours coming up, but yeah, totally.
I tried to do
Love
it for like a TikTok or something, and I was like, I
Yeah.
can't get my hair to do the thing that it used to do anymore. Like
Isn't that
lost
weird?
thing. But
We trained it. We trained it.
Yes. We did.
Exactly, yeah, it's like pin, yeah, that's the whole point. Oh, the bobby pins, you know what I mean? Like you hold it down, it's like the pin right
Yes.
there. Oh, I had to do that. And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
horrible on tour. It was horrible to do on tour because you're getting sweaty and it's just like, oh my God, I have to make sure the bangs. You know, like, God forbid that it just like, you know what I mean? Like shit show.
This is
Yeah,
so
the
true.
good
I remember a Warped Tour day where I was doing interviews, and I had the side bangs at the time as well. And you remember guys when the like woven headbands were a thing? Like everybody's wearing the headbands like around their head. So I used one of those headbands to try to keep my bangs down, and my bangs ended up curling up over the headband, and it was crazy. Like that's on the internet somewhere still too. So we all were really serious about the bangs.
Yeah.
100%.
We totally forgot about American Apparel for the clothing. The American Apparel thing was
Oh,
huge. That was
yes.
like one of the first photos I ever had for like the Millionaires, and I wore this like blue bikini, and I redid it for like tried to redo it, obviously 15 years later, but for the 15 year, because I was like, this is nuts, because like I don't even see American Apparel anymore.
Yeah.
They haven't really brought it back yet. I like that though, but it was
I
expensive.
feel like they're gonna bring that back. I feel like they're gonna definitely bring back like the bodysuits, like the metallic and the, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I had the blue
still-
metallic, and those, you know, like the one, yeah, like it was like a bathing suit, but it was like just around the neck or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and this,
I still have the black
that's what I want.
pants. Like
The what pants?
the disco pants, the like black American Apparel disco pants. I will
I
still
still wear
wear
those.
Oh yeah, the high waisted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like that. Oh
The
yeah, they have the
tight.
shorts too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Those were so flattering.
I
Yeah,
have
they-
no bottom,
Like
so
a
that
nice
did
big
not work
butt.
for me. I have no bottom, so I'm Asian. It's just like this. I was like, okay, this is just. I'm gonna stick to the. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fine.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You guys are really taking me back. I feel like after this interview, I'm going to be looking up American Apparel, trying to find the
That's
purple
what I'm saying.
hoodies again.
I remember this. Okay, remember the zip up? Yeah, the white, like whatever zipper with the white, whatever ties. Yeah,
Yeah,
good old
good
days.
Those are the
times.
days. But you guys still have amazing fashion now. So, you know, we could reminisce all day, but you guys are still holding it down, still bringing us some new trends.
Yay.
And as you're bringing things into the present day, I mean, I know Millionaires and Hey Monday, or not Hey Monday, Cassidy, you as a solo project have music coming out this year that you're working on. That's what I've heard through the rumor mill, at least. So as you guys are maintaining in the present day and working on new music, how is your strategy adapted? Where you're trying to possibly keep early fans happy who have known you for so long, but also staying present in what's current now and what you love now? Because I'm sure that's a bit of a juggling act, isn't it?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Millionaires, yeah, actually, this is the first time we're announcing it actually, but this Friday will be the first single from Millionaires coming out in almost a decade. So just to do, not just to do it, but just to start again, So we're really excited. We just shot the music video, it was so much fun. Yeah,
Awesome.
it actually was like our own trip down memory lane too. Like, no American Apparel, of course, unfortunately, but yeah, but just like, it was just really fun. And like, I felt like back in my element too, because like I was kind of like, I'm just kind of waiting or whatever. But I think it's the perfect time to, but yeah, no, I'm excited. March 8th,
Exciting.
we're going to do it.
Now, Meredith,
Cannot
did you
wait.
have a hand in the new music, or did you bring your own taste and flair to the project?
So this particular song, it's actually just Melissa on it. Me and Anissa, the other new girl, we're in the music video, but she recorded this pre
Prior,
us.
yeah.
So,
I see.
but
I was sitting on the song for a long time. And then when I was like, you know what? Like, like, why am I waiting? Not, well, I know why I'm waiting, but like, just like I was like, it's time. I have like the girl that I want with me. And it's just like, let's do it. Let's see how it goes too. Because like you said, it's like the old fans, are they going to like accept, like, how to, meet in the middle with like what the fans expect with, what I also too want to do or what we want to do for the future. So but I think, I don't know, what do you think? Perfect balance kind of thing.
I think good introduction to, me and Anissa, coming into the group and just kind of people getting familiar with us. But hopefully we'll have some stuff going on this year prior to when we were young. But I won't say anything more than that. Yeah.
Good way
That was
to answer that.
cryptic. I like it.
I love it.
And Cassidy, I know for you, I loved the interview you did on Rolling Stone because you talked about the journey of authenticity or lack thereof that was in country music that ended up leading you back into pop rock. So I imagine that making sure that it was true to you was a really big part of this comeback you're in now, right?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, thank you for saying that. That was crazy. I feel like with the new stuff, my goal is to definitely give each song its own moment. I think with social media and with like the marketing strategy now being like TikTok, at least that's what I've heard, and I've been like, I that can't be the only thing that I do, I think it's like making sure each song has its own elevation moment because we work so fucking hard on all of this stuff. And when music comes out or we release an album and songs just fly under the radar, it's like I get that not every song on the record is going to be a single, but it's now with so many tools at our fingertips like social media, it's like we can give each song its own little thing, its own little piece of content, whatever we want. And we don't have to spend 50 grand on a music video anymore, like, or we don't have to even do a music video anymore. We can like, so that's kind of my strategy moving forward is how can I give each song its own little thing, and also like the frequency in which you release singles now is so much faster. I mean, I remember it used to be like maybe 2 singles a year, if that. So that's how it's different for me as well. But definitely like working on getting on the road, some shows coming up, because that's no matter how much the industry changes, touring with a new record is like so ingrained in me. Like I feel very weird releasing a record and not going out on the road. So that's getting worked on currently. So yeah, that's the approach.
Love it. Yeah, it's like as much as things change, in some ways they stay the same. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like that bridesmaid scene where they like talk about like when if someone changes but they always stay the same. I don't know if you remember that scene, but it's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
that gal.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that movie in so
Yes.
long. Wow.
Oh.
Thank you.
A
I'm
jam.
due for a rewatch.
Yes, do it.
What about you, Anissa?
With new music, is that what
Or
we're
like
talking
even just with how I Set to Kill is approaching current touring or everything that you all are working on, how things changed.
Yeah, it's crazy because I did leave the band. I just joined back like last year, and I left the band and I was not writing music or going on tour with them for like 6 years, and I hadn't written with them for like 7, almost 8 years. And so coming back, it's such a crazy feeling, but an amazing feeling to like be back, because it's like brings back so many memories from like writing and touring. And so I feel like we are working on new music right now and we are recording. So that's been really fun. And I feel like it's kind of nostalgic feeling. And I feel like a lot of that energy is going into the new music, which is cool. And yeah, I'm really excited about what's to come next. And we're definitely taking that emo revival all like serious, because we want to, I don't know, just see our fans again, play music again, and just like be together and just see where it takes us, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's exciting to hear you're
so
working
yeah,
on new stuff too.
we're hopefully gonna have like a new song out, and then we're doing like a full, because these last the 15-year anniversary shows we were doing did so well, we want to do like full US tour. We only did like a couple shows, like some home shows, some California shows, but we want to like do full US and like overseas and see where that takes us. So
Please
yeah, I'm
do.
excited.
Because
Yeah.
I'm in
Yay.
Florida and I was very sad that I couldn't celebrate
we'll be
the
there.
anniversary
We'll
of
be
Reach.
there.
Come to Nashville.
Yes.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yes.
Well, you already have at least a few people ready to be in your audience. So
Yeah.
there's more where that
We'll
came
be
from.
there.
Thank you.
Totally. And I do want to ask as well, thinking about like the legacy that you've had so far, obviously you've had almost 2 decades and counting. So when you think about the next 2 decades, as you all are getting ready to work on new music and wanting to do more, how are you hoping like your impact or your work will be remembered, or like how, I don't know, just if we were to do another interview later down the line, what would we be chatting about?
Okay, this is so random, but like there's a new thing called Punk Rock Museum in Las Vegas. And they already
Yes.
have my stuff, and I was like, I'm not even dead yet. I was like,
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
yeah. But I was like, I already felt like, vindicated by that. So I think that was another like, wow, finally. But
All of I think there's something from each of our bands in that museum, because I was just
yeah,
there.
really.
Yeah, there's Hey Monday stuff, there's I Set to Kill stuff, and then there's a Millionaires record.
If you didn't know
Wait,
that,
wait.
but you have to send it in though. So I was the one who sent my stuff in. So someone from your band sent it.
It could be anyone that just has something, whatever it is.
Label.
No. There's like paperwork involved and stuff.
Whoa.
So you ask
Really?
your band
Wait,
members.
where is it? Where is the museum?
It's in Las Vegas.
Oh,
And yeah, Meredith got to go see it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mine was just like I sent in like they switch it out, I guess sometimes, but like I sent in like my Warped Tour outfit, and then the thing that she saw was Meredith saw that was like the first show at the Roxy, you know what I mean? Like thing,
yeah.
and like a
That's so
bow or
cool.
something, you know, but they switch it.
Oh,
I need to go see
I-
it, but yeah,
oh my
Sorry
gosh.
to throw you off.
Are we
I'm
all going to
freaked out
Vegas?
right now.
Yes,
Don't
I'm gonna
go,
be
yeah.
I'm gonna be in Vegas at the end of March, I think. Yeah, at end of March. I'm playing a show, so maybe I'll go to that then and check it out.
Yeah. Go check-
Yeah.
That's sick.
We're all
Hopefully
going to
no
be
one
snooping
sent in like
around.
my underwear or something weird.
I know, right?
What the
Yeah.
hell is in
something
there?
random? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so I got to choose, you know, just like, oh, this is like, you know, like nostalgic kind of stuff or whatever from like a long time ago. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
throw you guys off too. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Went down a
I
wormhole.
mean, I'm honored, but I'm like, who did this?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Maybe some like
I don't
adoring
know.
Hey Monday fan out there has like a pair of your Vans and you didn't know about it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
We're in there because we eloped in Vegas, and so we were like, let's go to
Yeah,
Punk
Mir's
Rock.
got maybe one thing.
And I go in, and the very first thing that I see is two FOB like action figures, and I was like, who the hell sent these in? And I didn't recognize the name at all, so it must have been
Oh my goodness.
someone who had
Yes,
them.
you're right. Because it says to, like, it says to, like, you know, send us in, like, whoever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
I didn't recognize the name at all, but
Yeah, sorry. I didn't
Nice.
mean to tangent off into something.
Yeah. So what was the question again? No.
The 20 years later, I was like, well, we're in a museum, so I'm good. But no, yeah, but I was just joking though.
we're all gonna
But,
have new stuff in the museum. 20 years.
yeah.
Exactly.
This bow will be in that goddamn museum.
The last thing I do.
Well, as far as
Um,
as far as Hey Monday and Cassidy and you as a solo artist as well. I mean, you've I feel like you've been really mindful in the way that your message has been with your solo project. A lot of that coming from the Rolling Stone interview that I learned. So obviously, like there have been some pivotal moments and realizations for how you want things to go now, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we all have been in the industry for so long. I think my first record deal I got when I was like 15. So it took a lot of like unlearning, like letting myself realize I have power and that I don't have to do what these suits tell me. And just because they say things with such confidence and conviction doesn't mean they're right. And so finally, I'm at the point where I'm like cutting and slicing my career like I want. You know, I'm still always going to do the artist thing, but I'm writing a lot for other artists and their projects, and I'm writing for Sync, and I'm acting a little bit. And so like I'm just like I used to think I had to do the one thing, or if I tried anything else, it would like take away from music and it would deter me or throw off my path. And now I don't know, I want to diversify everything that I'm doing, because it's just like you know, when I'm 80, I want to feel like I did it all or did everything that I had dreamed of and wasn't like missing opportunities. And, you know, going back to the people that have said, Hey Monday has helped them or influenced them, like a lot of those people are artists that I'm writing with for their projects. And so that's really cool to use, you know, the career that I've made for myself to help other people in a way. Like it feels like there's more purpose in that. So that's kind of a legacy thing that I'd like to hopefully have in 20 years, is like helping other artists find their sound and stuff.
That's so beautiful and full circle, because yeah, it's like there's a whole new generation of artists inspired by all of you right now that watched your career and watched you come up and are now like, I'm gonna do my own spin on that inspired by you. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said to
Excited.
kill.
Yeah, it's very relatable, like what you're saying about being signed at such a young age, like 16 years old, like definitely was in that place before. No one really tells you like how to navigate these things. You kind of just listen to the older adults because you think that they know what's right. And it's definitely a journey to kind of figure out yourself and like realize, oh, well, I need to like stay true to myself. And you learn through, going on tour and all these different experiences, and that the like thing that fans and people want to see is true authenticity, like authenticness. And I think that like going back to MySpace, I think that's what helped a lot. MySpace did help us, like people stay true to themselves and express themselves the way they wanted to. And I think that like now we don't have to like listen to all these people telling us what to do, because we know we can be ourselves. And that's what like people want to see. And I feel like sorry, I started like going off from what was the question again?
20 years from now.
I mean, what you want your legacy in the band.
Oh,
to be.
legacy. Sorry, I was listening to what Cassidy was saying, and I was like, oh my gosh, I could totally relate to that, because now, like, we can be like, we were kind of afraid to like be ourselves in a way, and we were just kind of listening to like what our labels were saying to like go this mainstream way or go this metal way more or whatever, and so we were kind of like going back and forth, and so I feel like now, we aren't signed to a label and we are doing things on our own. And like, I feel like even now for the first time, I feel like more free and more excited to be on tour and make new music. And I feel like maybe in 20 years from now, I don't know, honestly, but I feel a good thing happening with just music and the revival and everything in general, that yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think you've brought something up really interesting that I want to touch on just super quickly, of like how you both had learned from your experiences of being told what to do, or probably kind of being bossed around, especially as women in the music industry. Obviously, that's what this whole podcast is all about.
Yeah.
So like, have you noticed a change in the music industry in general, or in the way women are treated? And how are you feeling about if we've made any progress from when you started your career to now? Cassidy, I feel like you look like you really have something to say.
I'm like, I think I'm not sure that that anyone's changed. I think thankfully there seems to be louder, like women are being even more loud. I think the people in power in a lot of ways are maybe even being more defiant and against change because we're being louder and we're not settling for just being told what to do. But yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, it's like anything, like change isn't just gonna all of a sudden all of the people, like the sexist people, are gonna go away and then only the cool people are left. Like I think it's gonna come to that point where I think it's still getting there, where it's like more and more people who are standing up for women and more women are getting loud. And then there's still those people that are gatekeeping. So it's like, it's changing, but I don't think that I think, I don't know, maybe not on the like mainstream way where the heads of labels and the heads of whatever are, now all of a sudden like these feminist people. Yeah.
So you think just kind of being loud and being present and firm in what we need and what we expect in terms of being treated is probably the best solution to slowly but surely hopefully make some change in the industry?
Yeah, but like that's a lot of pressure. So I feel like the powers that be need to either go or they need to advocate for us. Because it's like like any sort of injustice, you know, the oppressor has to help, you know. That makes a bigger difference, and I'm not seeing that as enough, especially for women. So that's kind of where I'm getting at.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
I think also too, like how we like just like we push through everything for all of these years. You know, it depends on the person, because some people, you know, they just give up. You know, it's like oh yeah, like, or like they take advantage of you, like, you know, and fuck this, or whatever the case may be. And like even with Millionaires, like no one believed in us. There was a couple people, definitely I'm not going to say that, but yeah, you signed your life away if you were to take that jump, or you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I mean we're still independent artists and we do, you know, everything, you know, on our own, you know, like, so yeah, no, I feel you though. Like I said, I didn't have to really deal with any kind of label stuff like that, like, or you know, signing away or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel for you guys, but you guys, you know, push
Yeah.
through no matter what, you know, even if you had to like, I'm sure there's like some kind of background shit, yeah, like you had to like
Yeah.
get through.
Yeah.
I mean, even the
I don't
radio
know,
stations, you had talked about the radio stations too, like it's kind of everywhere. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
an easy thing to overcome. But yeah, that's true though, is like being independent is a really great route at this point too, because with social media,
Definitely.
You
it's
make
easier than
your
ever to be
you
able
make
to do
your own
that.
decisions, and you know where the
Yep.
money's going, and you know, or what's coming in, and you know, not like
Yeah.
blindsided by like, oh my god, like all this merch is here. So there's like, oh yeah, I remember like a friend of mine like signed their life away, like some crazy deal. I was like, how did you do
Yeah.
that? You know, you're doing so well, you know, and it's like
Mhm.
they still owe the label money or something. I was like, well, you need some money or something. Yeah, I help you out there, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel when it comes to like fans though, compared to how it was back in like the MySpace days and that era, a lot of that like internalized misogyny is slowly, you know, fading away from, you know, female fans or, you know, female identifying fans. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if y'all have ever seen like those memes or whatever that say, you know, millionaires walked so Kesha could run or something, you know. And
Love that.
no shade towards Kesha. I love her. I like adore her. But I feel like back then, at least for me, and listening to that music and everything, and even just listening to women in rock bands, there was just like kind of a stigma, and like a lot of people shit on women in music, and still to this day. But I feel like fans are embracing women in music now more.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the slut shaming is fading away and all of that. There's still people definitely out there that are really shitty, obviously, but I feel like it's better these days. So from that
Yeah.
point, there's a lot of positivity and growth. From the music industry standpoint, it's still kind of stuck. I think I agree with Cassie, just because like now, like I'm working for a record label now, and thankfully we have a great team, and it's small and everything, but I'm seeing how the sausage is made sometimes, you know, from other people. And I think men are getting better at hiding it now.
Because they're
That's all you can
scared.
ask for. That's all you can ask.
Mhm.
They're scared.
Cassie,
Well,
I
they
don't know if
should
you
be.
like remember on Warped Tour though, it was so like scary that even like the other bands were kind of like against like the women perform. You know what I mean? I don't know for you because you had a full band, but for me it was
Yeah.
just like we played off an iPod. Okay, so like we didn't have like okay, but you know this
Love
I will
that.
say like someone did tell me like that was the most punk rock thing because we did it against the grain, you know.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
was like, well, our music, I didn't sound with the band, the music was on the computer. Like, I don't, you know, it didn't make any sense. But so,
Yeah, it doesn't
and they
matter.
barely, you know, the guarantee was shot. But anyway, so like, but I was like, but we'll just play with an iPod, you know, save us some money for the whole fucking band there. But we played like the dual stages, you know, and so like, you know, the hardcore band would perform or something, and then we would perform. And then the crowd, though, the men would actually try to like not harass us like sexually, but like throw shit at us, and like it was like what the hell here? It's like, and we're like 17, you know what I mean? I think my sister was like 16 on that or something, but
Wow.
it was just like scary.
Yeah.
And then at our signings, tons of people on the signing, and like you know maybe drunk, whatever the case may be, just men would just like throw shit at us. Like, what are you doing with your life? First off, like someone just threw their shoe, and someone was like, well, now you're gonna have a bloody stump for the rest of the day. It's like what? Like why? I don't know. It's definitely changed. But I will say when we did So What Festival, Meredith, I was actually almost like a PTSD of like the how is this gonna go here? You know what I mean? Like my mindset. And it's kind of sad that I still had to think about that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
years later. And it's just like it's sad. It really was 15 years later. It's like, okay, here's a festival kind of thing again. And it's like, you know, with the bands or whatever. And it's like, are we going to get Meredith knows beforehand? I was like, you know, be wary just in case we get talked shit to, or you know, like something goes wrong because it is, and
Like
I
they're
feel like
gonna
it wasn't based upon.
us.
Yeah, and like you know, you get hit, it hurts. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god,
Ugh,
yeah.
those guys
But
have
we
small
actually we did
penises.
really well. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Small peepees.
I don't know.
And karma
But you
always
know,
finds
just
a way, even if it
oh
Yes.
hurts.
yeah,
Truly.
Yeah, no, but we did really well though. It was actually, I was floored. Like the band, that's sorry, that's like not to like tangent off again, but like that whole like what you're mentioning, it's like it just like kind of that. It's I feel like it is a lot more accepting now for like the women to be on the stage, and people like even the men who are like there for the different bands or like the bands they love. Like they still took the time to like watch our set and everything, and I feel like it's more accepting now to do so than in the past.
Yeah. I guess this does kind of summarize. I guess this has been my stance through the whole podcast is we've made progress, but we still have a very long way to go. So that's
totally.
why we got to keep being loud and keep demanding our space and all that. But to wrap us up with something quite fun, at the end of every episode, we have 4 most jaw-dropping questions for you all. This is kind of like rapid fire. So each of you can give your answer. And then that'll be our conclusion. So the first one is, what is the most jaw-dropping experience you've ever had at a show? Could be one of yours or one you've attended.
Oh, that's hard. Oh,
I'm trying to look at who's going to be
crazy at Millionaires shows.
Melissa, I feel like you might have some good ones, but Cassidy, it looks like you've also just remembered something.
Yeah, there's like some, well, I don't know, some are sketchy.
You're like, I don't know if I should say this.
Am I allowed to say something? I don't know. At a show? Like you said, both.
It doesn't have to be yours. It could be one you've just been in the crowd for. Whichever story you've got that's like real good.
I've got one.
Okay,
it was 2000.
How many years?
I don't know. It was like 2008 or something, 2009. And it was at this little shitty local hometown venue, and y'all know the band I Wrestled a Bear Once.
Yeah,
I'm sure. So they're from my hometown. So every time there was an I Wrestled a Bear Once show, it was chaos. The whole, all the kids showed up for their shows. And I remember it was like, shoulder to shoulder, you could not move in there. And there was, of course, some people getting fussy, I want to say, and, getting annoyed with each other, and then a fight broke out. And I saw this kid step up to this huge man. And this was the first time I've ever seen like a fight like this in my life. And he steps up to this man, and this guy decks this kid in the face and knocks out his 2 front teeth. And that and you saw them come out. You saw them hit the floor. And the show didn't
see that. Yeah.
No one even noticed it. I think it was me and like 2 other people that saw it because it was just so packed in there and loud and 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 the kid just went outside, and he was just holding his mouth, and he just sat outside for a little while, and I think he went back in.
Oh,
just, like rally.
He's like, I paid for that ticket. I'm gonna watch the show.
It was it was probably a $5 ticket, but
it's like if you're gonna go through all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think to piggyback off of yours, and I think of it like just because I don't want to mention anyone else's situations, you know what I mean? Like what I've seen, because there's some sketchy like you know what I mean? Something behind the scenes. But show-wise, I was like, it was the first tour ever, like the Millionaires or whatever, and we were almost home. You do like the last stretch, and we were in Tucson before we went to California, and it was at the Rock, Phoenix, but down there, and it's like the last song we play alcohol or whatever, the first, whatever. And my tour manager at the time, his first tour, mind you, and this is before all of his situation, but it was Hunter Moore, and he did like that "Is Anyone Up" thing. I don't know if you've heard of that man, but I know, but he wasn't. He was just normal then. But he's a big guy though. But still, like for alcohol, like everyone rushed the stage. You know what I mean? And like just was like jumping on the stage, and everyone's just underage. You could just tell everyone's drunk. But so they would start to push us back, kind of thing, like to get back while they're pushing the kids off the stage. And then he tries to, he kicked this kid or whatever, but like, in the like the thing, he like throws his elbow and it hits me like straight in the nose. And I was wearing this like white like skirt. I had a box shirt on, but like a white skirt. I don't know why, but the blood, I didn't realize because I was but the blood was like going down, and I looked down, I was like, it looked not like I was on a period or anything, but I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like I was just gushing blood. And so like they had to carry me off the stage and everything. And it was just like, it was just beyond, and this, like, is there a doctor in the house? And like this one random woman like broke my nose back into place. I was like, what's going on? And then like the people, like there's this other band who I won't name who were with us, and they're like, why did you do that? She was like, I didn't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't purposeful. I promise he wasn't purposeful. And they started fighting. So then they started fighting, and then like they were like, just the whole fight broke out, and then all these fans are fighting, and then the police are called, and like, I just want to go to the hotel. I was like, I just want to go to the hotel, and they couldn't get in the van because they had the keys or whatever. I was just like, yeah. So I'll just leave it at that one. But
It's chaotic.
Wow.
It's just, you don't know where to go to, and I couldn't even see. Like I was like bleeding all over the place. I was like, I don't know.
Surprised you didn't get confused for Andrew WK at some point there.
Oh, right. No, I swear to God, at that point, yeah. I was like, yeah, photo shoot. No.
Anyone have non-violent stories?
Yeah, not violent stories now.
Wait, I have a similar story, but it's not that violent.
Okay.
But it does have to do with injury. But it's something that happened to me too, that I think it was like in 2014. We were on tour, and we were playing a show in Missouri, and we were about to like do this really big tour. I forgot what band it was with, but we were like doing a like just our own like off show before we like jumped on this like big tour we were all excited about. And we were playing the show, everything was going well. Or mind you, before this, I was having like migraines the past few days. I thought I was just like dehydrated or something. Like I was like, I'm having really bad headaches. I don't know what it is, but I kind of just like pushed it aside. So, and then, okay, flash forward, we're playing a show. I'm headbanging a lot. And when I play, like, I always am like headbanging like really crazy. And we were playing the last song, and the crowd was, or after we played the last song, the crowd was like, one more song, one more song. We're like, okay. So we were going, I was like giving it my all, because like the energy and the crowd was just so amazing that I was just like going crazy on stage. And like at the end of the song, I'm headbanging, and I put my head down really fast, and I hear like a pop in my head, like around my eye area. And I didn't know what it was, but my eyesight went blurry. And so like I ran to the green room, I looked in the green room, and my eye was like kind of bulging out. Yeah. So we had to like drive, we had a long drive. Okay, yeah, I should have gone to the hospital, right? If that like kind of thing happened, but we didn't go. I was like, I think like, I don't know. I just didn't know what to do. And also we were drinking. It was like, I don't know.
Did you just like push it back?
Yeah, I was just like holding it, and like I went to sleep, and the next day I just had a big black eye, and they're like, okay, we got to go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and they were like, oh, we think that it might be like you might have a tumor behind your eye or something. Like they're trying to figure it out, because it was like pushing it out. I had to get all these x-rays, and it turned out that I had like a blood clot behind my eye, and it had like from headbanging, it like pushed my eye out, and I had to like get like, it was crazy. We had to cancel like the like next 2 months of tour. I had to like get this surgery. They were like, oh, we don't know if your eye is gonna, we don't know if we could save your eye. You might like be blind. Like they were telling me all these things, and I had to go straight into surgery, and like it was just like this crazy thing. And they ended up like being able to save my eye, but like they had to like break my nose and like cut these things in my eyes to leave room for like blood to like flow. I know, sorry.
No, my dog just did a back bend into the frame, so I was like, don't laugh. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh at your story.
There's like a crazy picture online, because like the doctors like took pictures, and like my family was like posting like, pray for Anissa. And like,
oh, no.
If you like Google Anissa, I Set to Kill eye, if you want to see what it looked like.
I Set to Kill, God, you really lived up to the name there, didn't you?
Right?
True.
No, it was crazy, but I ended up like, you can't even tell that anything happened to this eye, but yeah, my eyesight was fine. I ended up, the crazy thing is the hospital that I was at ended up being it was like the best eye doctors in the nation. So like I ended up in the right place for my situation, which is crazy. But
And if
that
anything,
was
this is
like
a
crazy time.
cautionary tale on headbanging.
Yeah,
once
so the
again.
doctors really,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
definitely
both of you
told me
guys
no
have,
more
like,
headbanging,
no.
but yeah.
No,
Cassie,
no headbanging for us nerds.
Yeah.
suddenly your bulging disc is not number one anymore.
Not so bad. Not so
It's not
bad.
so bad.
I'll be fine.
Oh
No,
my
I'm fine now
God.
though, but yeah.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
We're all just gonna be like holding our eye, being like, "Thank you for
Yeah.
staying there."
Headbang like
Oh
this.
my God.
Yeah, it was
shoving it
crazy.
in.
I still like
My-
headbanging too. Like even when I play, I don't go as crazy. I used to go like really insane with the way that I was headbanging, but now I'm a little bit more tame and like more, I don't know, I take care of myself a little bit more than I would back then. Like, I didn't really care.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Phy-
Go backwards.
physical-
Go backwards.
Yeah.
I back in.
Yeah.
Well, Cassidy, do you have a
That's
quick
very awkward.
story or?
I do, and it's not. I'm gonna give you a lighthearted one because there's no way that I'm
Good,
can
we
compete with any
we
of
need
this
a lighthearted
stuff.
one.
It has to do with a brassiere. I wore a strapless bra underneath like a very loose tank top at a show once. And the longer I was jumping around, the lower this thing was sinking, and it just like went to my stomach, and it's like a loose tank top, so it looked like I had like two growths on my stomach. And during a guitar solo, I was able to like run side stage, and like I had mic in one hand, and like I undid my bra with one hand, which I was very proud of, tossed it side stage, and like all of the techs and people that were standing side stage were like, she just threw her bra at us. What the hell is happening? But I went back on stage and finished the show. So
Hell yeah.
nice
you know
and
what?
light.
That's
Nice and light.
like the true sign of a pro, that you could
Yeah.
make that happen so quickly
Yeah.
and then go
Pro
back on
in-
stage unfazed.
Yeah.
A pro in a couple of ways, if I do say so myself.
I agree. Well, I don't want to keep you guys too long, so we're gonna rapid fire these next ones. Most jaw-dropping misstep early in your career and the lesson you learned from it. Well, I guess Cassidy learned not to wear a strapless bra on stage.
I can
Yeah,
answer
that's mine.
this one. I had the same situation, not with the bra though. I got this like, it's like cool to get the vintage clothes. I got this vintage like jean like onesie. Okay, it was really cute though, but like it was a one piece. And first song, like you get down that we played this song called I Like Money, and it was like the first lyric is like drop it down, and raise it up. So I dropped down, the whole back split, okay, and I wasn't wearing underwear, okay. So and I was like, and so like I feel it because it's hot and it just gets cold, and then you're just like, okay, oh my God. And so like, and we had the van, of course. That was a problem with the van, no keys, okay, but I'm like, so like I like walk off the stage and like no one knows what's going on because it wasn't like sick or anything. I was like, I think whatever. My tour manager, he was Hunter, that goddamn guy. The whole tour was a shit show, okay. So I was like, let's get into the van or whatever. You know what I mean? I was in Sacramento at whatever the boardwalk, and I was like, I need to get in the van or whatever. I was like, and all of our clothes were at the hotel or whatever. I had nothing but my pajamas, so I had to change into my pajamas and then go back and perform the entire thing in my pajamas. It was just like this. It was so hot too. It was just sweatshirt and like these like ugly shorts, and I was just like, I did the whole set in my pajamas. But yeah, so
I feel your bell.
So everybody double check your clothing before going on stage.
I have
We
a
are
secondary
learning
outfit,
today.
Yeah. No, that drop down was like, oh my God, I felt it. I was like, great.
I learned not to shoot a money gun over the DJ booth because then it'll hit the tempo and make it go super fast, and then you'll have to sing super fast.
Oh my God,
until you figure it out.
That's so funny.
Crazy.
Got the good old money gun.
Oh, that gun.
Gosh.
What about you, Adisa?
I learned not to drink heavily before I play a show because I think it was like my 21st birthday or something like that, where we played a show. I think we were in Sacramento, and I just decided to drink a lot before we played because it's my birthday, I got a party, and I ended up blacking out and playing the completely wrong song that everybody else was playing. And yeah, it was
Oh no.
so bad. And they had my sister like turned my amp off. She like walked over and was like turned my amp off. And then like the set was like I kept going. I kept playing. I didn't even know. I was still playing. My amp was off though. But yeah.
It's like the muscle
That is-
memory.
You know what? Good on Alexia for looking out though.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
That you kept
politely,
playing.
she didn't tell you. She just did it. So that's quite
Yes.
nice.
Exactly.
Oh,
Happy
that's
birthday.
amazing.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Shut up.
And the most jaw-dropping female artist that you would love to work with.
Oh,
Any of you guys?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Same answer.
You gals.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Oh, well, you know what? I would support any of these collaborations or like a three-way collaboration. All of them could be interesting.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do
I'd be
it.
That'd be
I would
really
be
fun.
curious like what you would concoct with all of your different genres
Right?
as well.
Oh,
It would be
amazing.
crazy. It would
I
be
think it'd be
awesome.
awesome. I
Yes.
think it would totally work.
That we should do a Millionaires like EP or album of all the old songs, but like rock versions.
Yeah,
that's
that'd be kind
sick.
of
Cool thing.
cute. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Still keep
I
like the
see.
That's awesome.
There's an idea brewing. I like where your
Yeah.
head's at.
So fun.
And last one we have here is the most jaw-dropping misconception about you that you wish people understood. This is a good time to clear the air.
I don't really know what people like think of me that like isn't true. I feel like that kind of stuff, unless, well, there's like mean comments sometimes that say that I'm like a bitch. But I don't know if that's like a common misconception. I think that's like some people think that, and I'm not.
I mean,
That's
they've
all I could
clearly
think
never
of.
met you.
Yeah, no,
know?
no,
Yeah.
not these people for sure.
you
That's
should
it
just
though.
write like, yeah, I am.
I mean, if you're mean to me, I'll be mean back. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that's fair though.
That is fair. Anyone else?
I think that like for me, I feel like there was more like in the earlier days of I Set to Kill. When we first started playing shows, I think when people would see us setting up on stage and getting ready, they didn't know who we were, but they would automatically assume things like, oh, they're not going to be that good. They're girls. And I think that kind of thing I feel like that's changed a lot, but I feel like back then, I mean, it's still there, but back then definitely people will judge you before they even hear what you have to say or listen to your music. But yeah.
Yeah, and I could definitely see I saw it quite a lot as well when you would see like any female metal artist. There was that automatic assumption that they wouldn't be as heavy as the guys.
Yeah.
Which you would very quickly prove wrong as soon as you walked
Yes.
on stage. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely.
As far as Millionaires, anything?
I think for me, I mean, I guess that I'm a millionaire, but I'm not one yet. How about that?
Nice.
Nice. But
I like
let's
they
clear
said
that up,
yet.
you know?
We got to
Yeah,
manifest it. We're getting there.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I got more, 20 years. How about that? That 20 years, what's going to be? Yeah, there we go.
Love it. Well, thank you guys so much. Seriously, 16-year-old dream come true to have you all in one Zoom meeting. This has been very cool. And I love that all of you brought your own unique perspectives to this conversation. It's been really cool. So thank you all for being here. Anything else
Thank
you want to
you.
mention or say real quick before we get out of here?
I just want to let everyone know that I have been balancing my phone on a limit in this green room so that I could do this Zoom.
Did you say a lemon?
A lemon, yeah. It was the closest thing to me that had any.
Oh, like behind the phone.
A
Yeah.
lemon.
Yeah.
When life
Impressive.
gives you lemons.
You
Then as
balance
the
your phones on them.
And this just goes to show
Oh.
to never underestimate a woman and how resourceful we can
That's
be.
right.
Yes.
Period.
That's right.
Well, thank you all. This has been awesome. And
you.
everybody who's been listening, thank you for being here as well. And make sure you're listening here on KNOTFEST every other week. She's with the Band. You can follow Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time. Bye, y'all.
Yay.
Bye.
Thank you.